Well, good morning. I love that. That's great. You're awake. Let's try at the back of the room. Good morning. Thank you so much. It is. Mayor Sullivan, thank you for those welcoming remarks too. This mayor of Anchorage has been just a model of how to work together with our administration. He's been very clear about budget priorities with us, to Karen Rayfeld and to me. He's worked to contain the city's own spending. He's worked to grow opportunity here and shown us how that could be done. I commend him for his work with the Education Summit, and we share that desire that we can get to a 90% graduation rate across this state if we can utilize the ideas from our communities and move that direction. Mayor Marquardt, you have been a wonderful partner as well. You've been very communicative both about AML but also about your community. And I just want to say thank you for the working partnership there. So when you think about partnership, what do you think about when you think about cultivating partnerships? You know, most of us, or many of us in this room, have a spouse. And Sandy and I have been married for a little over 25 years, and I can still remember that summer of 1987, before getting married, in the spring before that, where we made a decision together to go visit a pastor that we respected, because this marriage thing was new to us. And we went to him and said, can we counsel with you on how to cultivate a healthy marriage? And so he agreed to it. He spent about 7 weeks. We met weekly with him. And I remember at least two things from those discussions that have stood me in good stead with Sandy and her with me too. He said, one thing he said is that we always must speak words of honor about each other. When we're with our friends, you know, don't put your spouse down. Don't say, don't dishonor your spouse in your conversation, but only honor them. The only time he gave us permission to speak words of concern or criticism were in the context of seeking help from somebody competent to render that help. But words of honor about our spouse. And then the other thing was, he said, you've heard marriage described as a partnership, right? And we said yes. And he said, well, partnership often sounds like 50-50, doesn't it? And we said, yeah, that sounds like a partnership. And he said, well, guess what? Marriage is 100%, 100%. You're in it 100% for each other. Because if it was a 50-50 partnership, you're always wondering whether your partner is given their 50% rather than whether we're given our 50%. And I think there's some words of truth, there's some kernels of truth there for how to cultivate partnerships beyond a marriage. Because the state of Alaska and local communities are inextricably linked. We are in this state of Alaska and in community health and community growth and economic opportunity. We're in it all together. And so I'm 100% committed to you as a state that we will do everything within our power to enable you to grow healthy communities. And I need you to be 100% in that you will do everything within your power to be a part of a growing, vibrant state. And I think we've got the organizations and the people to do that. So as I look down the road, I'm just going to spend about 2 minutes more talking, and then I would like to interact with you. I'd like to have a dialogue more than me speaking at you, because I'm in the midst of crafting our proposed budget. We submit a budget to the legislature. It's constitutionally required by December 15, and that to me is a conversation starter. As you know, the legislative process works, and we continue that conversation with legislators and with you all and with all the community members through the end of the legislative session. And so what I put out and what the administration puts out in its budget on December 15 is a starting point. And I recognize that, and I want you all to recognize that as well. But when I build a budget, it's like you build your budgets. It's within the context of the whole. And as we look at state revenue, we think about oil prices and production. Globally, the economies are contracting. China is slowing. It's hurting Japan, Korea. So demand for petroleum is going down. Prices are coming down. The EU, the European Union, is also in a down state as an economy. Our own nation struggles. We have resources here, however, that we rely upon to grow our economy and to create opportunity for Alaskans. The budget that we passed, and the legislature passed last year and I signed, requires $104 a barrel oil to balance. If it did not increase if the budget did not increase $1, because of price and production declines, we would need $110 oil to balance our budget. Now multiply that out by 4, 5, 6 years. If that kind of price and production decline continues, and we need $120, $130, $140 a barrel to balance the state's budget, we have a big problem. And so I am working to increase production of oil and increase opportunity for Alaskans, both through your local communities as well as through just private sector jobs. That's what oil tax reform is about. It's about increasing production and increasing opportunity. I'm going to just stop there because we've got a lot to talk about. We could talk about partnerships with respect to PERS-TERS, with respect to the economic opportunities like Ketchikan, Alaska Ship and Dry Dock, Skagway, the ore terminal, Red Dog. We can talk about a lot of partnerships, both through our agencies as well as through our departments. Because every day I know our agencies and our departments are working with your communities, whether it's on roads, substance abuse programs, whatever kind of benefit programs there are, Fuel Watch. There are all kinds of partnerships that we have. But let's have a dialogue. I want to say thank you, AML. Thanks for getting together as a group. I just appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and also to hear from you. Look forward to seeing you all in Juneau too. Thank you.